Hey everybody, it's Norm from Tested, and I have a little bit of a show and tell for you today of a product that I bought recently that I love using, as well as a little project I did to complement it. So while in lockdown, we're stuck at home, and one of the things I've been doing a lot of is taking photos of the baby. I have an 18-month-old little baby boy. He's running around upstairs right now probably, and we've been taking a lot of photos of him. And it was Mother's Day a couple weeks ago, and I bought for my wife Danica a new photo printer. Now, there are a lot of options for photo printers that you can buy out there, from full desktop printers from Epson, Canon, HP that print high quality, big photos that you can blow up, or small portable photo printers that you can also buy with a bunch of new technologies like Z-Ink, where basically you don't have to put any ink in there, you buy special film, put in the printer, send your digital photo over, and it prints it out. The quality's okay. Now, there's also instant cameras, and in our household we love using the Instax brand of instant cameras. Fujifilm has been making this camera for a long time. It's the Mini 8, and it's like your standard Polaroid, where you buy a pack of film, it's cartridge, it goes into the back, you take your photo, it comes out the top, takes a minute or so to develop, and it's a one of a kind. We love using this, even though it's a little bit pricey per photo, but you get like a unique experience. It's an ephemeral photo. There's no copies of it. And we had this at our wedding. It was like a party favorite. Everyone got to take photos and take them home. They also have an upgrade, and so we last year bought this guy, which is the Instax SQ6, and SQ stands for square, so like the Mini, it's again instant pictures, but now they're square pictures. A slightly different format, but same process, better lens, and I really like the quality of photos that come out of here. Now, there's also an upgrade to this called the SQ10, where you take a picture and yes, the instant film comes out, but then you also store the picture digitally onto a local memory that you can print out later. Now, that's interesting because it kind of takes away from the uniqueness of the photograph that you're getting, the kind of Polaroid experience, the one of a kind. It's like a digital negative that you can make copies of, and I'm totally cool with that. I don't want to be too precious about it, especially since the film does cost a lot of money. And it made me think about, do they sell just a photo printer that prints on Polaroid or instant film? Because I like that tangibility, I like the feel, I like the glossiness of that type of paper, and I can use it with these cameras as well. And they do. So Fujifilm sells this guy, and that's what I bought for Mother's Day. It's called the Instax Share, and this is the SP3 model, the 3rd generation. And it kind of is just like this camera, except there's no lens and no way to take a picture. Instead, there's a Wi-Fi connection to your phone that you just connect and then use the app, and then any picture you have stored on your phone, you can then print out and have in this Instax format. In fact, let's do one right now. I took a selfie earlier, and here it goes. You can even see the framing in the photo. You can do some editing, they apply filters, what have you, reframe it. I'm just gonna go press print, and there it goes. So we'll wait for this to develop. Now, there are some differences in the actual image quality between this photo and what you would get from the full analog experience of this camera. I do think that the photos look better when shot properly on this camera, although you do only have that one chance for that one exposure. The image quality is a little bit, I'd say, a little blown out in the highlights. You don't get as much dynamic range with this, but they still look good. There's also a fundamental difference with the focal length. This is a good lens in here. It basically has about a 33 millimeter equivalent, if you're talking about 30 by 35 millimeter film, And if you're talking about trying to replicate the look of that picture on your phone, on an iPhone, the wide angle camera is 26 mil, telephoto is about 52 mil equivalent, but the front facing camera is that 33 mil. So you can always use front facing camera, portrait mode, save it to your camera roll, and print it on the Share. So like I said, we've been taking a lot of photos of our baby at home. And so for Mother's Day, not only did I buy this printer, but I bought a bunch of this instant film. Again, a little pricey. On Amazon, you can basically buy a 20 pack for $16 or $17. So it's about 80 something cents, 75 to 85 cents per print, and we printed a bunch of them. And I wanted to find a way to not only display them, but also encourage interaction with them. There are a lot of Polaroid or instant film display cases, frames, holders, sleeves, where you're supposed to mount them on the wall, put them on your desk, but they don't really encourage the grabbing of the photo and looking at it and handing it around, which I think is part of the experience of having this, and the reason to have this type of picture. So I decided to make a stand. So I did a sketch and used the Glowforge I have back there, and over the weekend I made this, which is a instant film holder. And what I did was, it basically is the dimensions of one of these photos. So about 3.5 inches by 2.8 inches that you can use it to sort. And then I also laser cut in a couple of these slots on here, and then you can easily stick these pictures in and have them, you know, offset. I like the messiness of it, and then drop these photos in between as a way to store them. And after I made this first one, which is hobbled together, it's just super glued together, I decided to make a version 2, and I realized that not only could they display photos, I could also drop photos in between, and it'd be a nice way to commemorate maybe the first year of my baby. So version 2 has essentially 12 slots, and I'm gonna use one each slot for every month of his first year, and so I can go through and see his progression, as well as print more photos, drop them in, hand it around at a party, or leave it on a shelf, and then really pick it up and look at the photos. And then I made a version 3 as well, a smaller version, just 3.5 inches, and there you see photos that you could have in these little slots, as well as ones that you can just drop in and sort. You can hold dozens and dozens of photos in this. Super simple project, allowed me to just dive back into Illustrator, which I haven't done in a long time, design some slots, and really satisfying to do. And in fact, if you want to make one yourself, if you have access to a laser cutter or even something like a Cricut and you want to cut it out of thin wood, I'll put the SVG, the vector files, in the description below. So let's take a look at our photo. Yep, you know what? Not bad, something tangible. If you handed this to someone, I bet they would be fooled into thinking it came directly from one of these cameras, even though it was just taken with the front-facing camera on my phone. Just something I wanted to share. I'm really loving using this printer. There'll be a link to it below if you want to get one yourself, and if you want to make one of these display stands yourself as well. Again, the designs are below. I'd love to see what projects you're working on from home while we're on this lockdown. Please post them in the comments below. Hope you're all staying safe, wearing masks, take care of each other, and we'll see you next time. Bye.